Tickets are on sale now for our 20th anniversary Back to the 80s and 90s WrestleFest Birthday Bash, Saturday, November the 13th at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts. Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, welcome to another installment of the Monday Night Delight. After you sat through 3 hours of Monday Night Raw, it's time to get down to business talking about the king of sports, professional wrestling. I'm Dan Marty here at MWF Studios, along with the man that nearly blew the roof off of Madison Square Garden at WrestleMania 10, the Boston Garden at Survivor Series 93, in arenas around the country and around the globe. Former WWF Tag Team Championship Manager of Men on a Mission. I could only be talking about Oscar. Oscar, the Man on a Mission. I still need to come up with a better conclusion to such a big introduction than a name with 5 letters in it. Are you there, Oscar? Did I blow the roof off your cell phone?
Hold on a second.
Oh, are you still there?
Hold on.
Oh, hold on. All right. The hell of an introduction to the show, fans. We hope you're doing well wherever you may be. I'll shoot the breeze with you until Oscar returns. I don't know if I blew his eardrum out during that introduction, but he is a man on a mission after all. Are you back? I don't know what the hell what does he think he is? Tony Atlas vanishing like that? What?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you perfect now.
All right.
Where were you?
Oh, no, I was having issues with my headset.
Oh, with your headset. All right. Well, we're glad you had your headset issues figured out. You're doing better than Facebook, I guess. As of the time we're recording this, Facebook is down for the count, Oscar. What do you think of that?
Oh, man, no, I'm not doing better than Facebook. Actually, I'm doing worse.
What do you mean?
Man, let me tell you, it has been a tumultuous, I don't know how long, but the last 24 hours, and my fans, we family, I can tell y'all. All right, so I had an aunt that passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
it was on Dreamy Mimi's side, so they went to the funeral. The long story short of that is our 1-year-old little cousin is gonna come to live with us.
You're gonna have a 1-year-old child living with you?
She went to the funeral and practically came back with baby. The baby will be in the next week soon.
Dear Lord, Oscar, that almost sounds like a reality show. You watching a 1-year-old
child?
Oh,
no.
There's more.
It gets better. It gets better. You want to talk reality show? It gets better.
All right.
So we informed our landlady, in this perfect apartment that we got that is just humongous with everything to have an apartment, and the landlady is like, no, y'all can't have a baby living with y'all.
So you're trying to tell me that babies are banned from the Oscar apartment complex?
Babies are banned from the Oscar apartments. My mother-in-law can't come to visit. All these just came down.
Wait a minute. Why can't your mother-in-law come to visit? Old people aren't allowed either?
I don't know. What I do know is, of course, the Dreamy one is not standing for it. So just as fast as we got all our boxes in here, is she packing all our boxes to leave.
So where are you looking? In Hotlanta, or are you going back to Indiana?
I just suggested to her that no, we're gonna stay in the Georgia area. That's a given. But all of the stuff in this area is mega expensive. This is a real affluent community. I mean, we were like really lucky to even get this in this area. So instead of pulling her hair out,
what is the problem with the baby? I mean, I can understand how some landlords, they might not want pets, but what is the problem with the baby?
No, it ain't pets. She got dogs. She got multiple dogs.
So they'll allow dogs, but not babies.
Yeah.
Who was the landlord? Piggott?
It must be her cousin, because
there's an Edna Piggott down in Georgia that's a landlady throwing people out for having a baby.
This is beyond terrible. I mean, we gonna leave on Thursday, and as of right now, we don't know where we going. I mean, we looking at Airbnbs right now temporarily, and whatever. It's just all messed up. But I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna tell all my fans, I sound flustered, but the one thing I do know is the good Lord above got her. So I don't need to be worrying. I just can't help it. But I'm just,
I can imagine the frustration.
Just all of a sudden.
Well, let me ask you.
I mean,
what would have happened?
No,
go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just got my comfortable chair, and I just got my TV. I wanted. I mean, the little like that, you get all that together, you get comfortable, and then something like this come up. It's just, ugh.
It's almost like Boiselle with the calendar. He gets too comfortable with it, but that's a different story for a different time.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, though. Let's say you impregnated Dreamy Mimi and she had a child. Would you be allowed to stay that way under those circumstances if it was biological?
That is a real good question, and I honestly don't know. That is a real good question. I honestly don't know how that would work.
Could Mimi lie and say she kept it in Indiana while you guys moved down?
Nah,
no,
I mean,
the landlord knows the situation.
Yeah,
the Piggott of Atlanta.
Said, I mean. She would not even my mother-in-law, who's the sweetest little lady on the planet, not spend the night. She said she couldn't even come visit. I'm like, what the? What?
I don't understand. Now that almost sounds like that almost sounds like ageism to me, Oscar. They're discriminating against your mother-in-law.
No. I'm gonna tell you why it's discrimination. She said that we couldn't have no visitors or company of any kind at all, ever.
None?
No.
Really? Almost sounds like where I am, but that's a different story for a different time. But so there's no housekeeping?
I mean, and we paying, no, and you know what? I'm going to tell you what the bottom line is. I am paying $14.50 a month I mean, I understand. A house got to have some rules. That's fine.
Sure.
House rules. But to live like, I mean, if I wanted to stay with my mother, I'd have stayed with my damn mother. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
And even my mother let me have company. People come to visit. All the space, and nobody can come visit. The fuck. So anyway, that's the situation. So right now, mind is all scrambled because we trying to be out by Thursday. By Thursday, you understand what I'm saying? So it's.
Where is Mimi now?
Yeah. She's over her brother's house getting the truck because they finna start moving some boxes from storage.
You have to put it in storage?
Yeah, we're gonna put our box. We already had a storage anyway, so we putting out the majority of our stuff in storage.
Mother of God, you have to call Sheiky Baby and see if he's got any room down there in Fayetteville. I had no idea any of this was going on.
No, I didn't either. Like I said, I mean, I was going to tell you about the baby on this show, but all the rest of this didn't materialize until last night. Dreamy had a meeting with the landlord, and when she had the meeting with the landlord, all of this great news manifested itself. I mean, you could have met last night. I was floored.
Wow.
I just couldn't believe it.
Well, I almost speechless. I don't know what to add to that other than what do you think of having a baby come into your world?
You know what? I mean, to be honest, I mean, it's a shock to the system, but in general terms, I really don't have a problem with it. I'm fine with it because I love kids,
Yeah.
and then that's 1 year old and going through some pretty horrific things to be one, with her parents and her not being wanted and her going through some things. 1 year old, my heart go out to the kid, so the kid's gonna be safer with us, loved with us. I mean, I'm 58 years old, but all right, get myself back in the saddle and raise a baby on up. Teach.
Well, it sounds like it's been a
names.
Was it the baby's parent that passed away?
No, whatever else. No, the baby's parents ain't passed away. The parents simply don't want the kid.
Well, do you think the child is too young for sessions with David Reiss to discuss it?
Well,
I don't know.
But
I don't know if David Reiss could.
Child,
I don't know if David Reiss could hold the attention of a 1-year-old.
No, he can't. But by the time I'm done with the child, she's not gonna need David Reiss. So that's gonna be the blessing. And speaking of David Reiss couldn't do it anyway. David Reiss, he got his plate is full, and he had the buffet getting 2 more.
You broke up a little bit, Oscar.
So,
you broke up a little, Oscar. What happened with David Reiss?
His plate is full, and he's at the buffet getting 2 more plates. His dance card is packed to the rafters.
Well, and you know what kind of candy he's going to be giving out for Halloween.
Yep, he's giving out them pieces.
I think for David Reiss, he'd have to be more worried about having a biological child with all of the activity that's been going on with him. But that's a different story for a different time. He could wind up with... Now, that would be great if both the president and the vice president wound up with 1-year-olds right around the same time.
Yeah, no, right?
Well,
we'll be able to formally make the David Reiss announcement on our next show, I'm sure.
Oh, really? All right. Well, I look forward to that.
Yeah, they finalizing the situation this week.
Well, I look forward to it. I think that's a great thing for I guess the best way to put it is everyone involved right now. Is that a good way to put it? Yeah.
And the good news is I will be involved, but we'll get more into it, when we're able to discuss it.
Well, the Oscar household is going to be in for an uprising, not to be confused with the uprising faction here in Boston Wrestling MWF that John Cena Sr. is at war with right now. If you saw those YouTube videos this week, John Cena Sr. accused them of having a financial backer that is unknown at this point. He said that a reality show contestants don't make the kind of money that Cam Zagami claimed he did to buy the faction. The losers that, other than the hosts and the winners of the reality shows, the contestants only get a stipend of $300 to $500 a week. So he's trying to say there's shenanigans going on here.
Wait. Me and probably half the MWF universe don't know what the hell you talking about, so you need to start from the beginning.
Well, John Cena Sr. exploded. You know the issues he's had with Zagami and this uprising faction, but Zagami has claimed now for quite some time he bought the copyrights and the contracts and the IPs that were available using the money that he made from appearing on John Cena's American Grit reality show on Fox. Well, John Cena Sr. uncovered that.
Now I got it.
That, other than the host, John Cena, and the winners of the program, the rest of the contestants that are eliminated, they only get $300 to $500 a week as a stipend. So how could he afford to purchase all of these, again, contracts, copyrights, intellectual properties, for making that kind of money? Something doesn't add up, Oscar. And
so
Cena
what's the theory? All right, so how did he?
No one knows at this point. It seems like he's almost the face or the front man for someone or something else. I thought maybe John Layfield might have been involved, or he had a past history with that faction investing in it. But Cena claims that he spoke with Layfield, and he thinks Layfield's hands are clean on this one. So I don't know. But it's interesting to know who is, writing the checks for so many athletes here in this organization.
Okay.
And who loves it more than anybody is Reiss. Reiss he's like the Eric Bischoff of regional wrestling. He loves the controversy behind it. I don't know.
Wait. Reiss.
Reiss. I spoke with Reiss to see
what does he got to do with anything?
Well, I spoke to Reiss to see if he knew anything about it, and he said no, but he said he thinks it's fantastic. He said it's more for the fans to sink their teeth into. So I don't know.
What's fantastic about this?
The mystery behind it, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if this is supposed to be masterpiece theater or professional wrestling.
All right, so you always got a theory about everything. Where do you think the money's coming from?
I really don't know. I don't know him to be a connected individual within the world of professional wrestling. Maybe it has something to do with outside of wrestling. I really don't know.
Not.
Maybe
no,
I hate
it don't have to be.
I hate to
connected into the world of professional wrestling, but I mean, there are plenty of backers that know how lucrative wrestling can be in many of its tentacles. So there's many of backers who are non-wrestling people who will back any situation that seems like a return can be, a return can be afforded. And this situation, especially with John Cena's name on it, I'll put it like that. You mention his name and whatever, then I can see it not being hard to get a financial backer to back whatever lie you told or whatever tale you spun or whatever negotiation you mustered up that got something to do with it.
Well, it's a very unique situation. I don't even know how Cena uncovered this information, but Johnny has been out for blood with Zagami for quite some time. He's wanted him out of the organization completely, but that would be impossible with everything that he has his signature on as John Hancock. But just a very odd program, very interesting allegations made by Cena Sr. But you know what? As much as I don't like him, I don't believe the man has ever fabricated something like this. So I believe he believes it to be true. Now I guess we have to find out who and why is putting the money into these hungry young athletes that have found great success in the organization in the past and in the present and likely the future, and why they chose someone like Zagami to be the guy. I mean, he was John Cena Sr.'s flunky at one point, and then when he came back from the American Grit reality show, all buddy-buddy with John Cena Jr., his whole attitude changed. And when Reiss and Cena had their issues and Cena Sr. was suspended for a bit, those contracts expired, those IPs and copyrights expired, and Zagami, or whoever this may be, jumped right in to purchase them. If it's not Zagami, It's going to be interesting to see who or what it is that is signing the checks behind the scenes to make this happen.
All right, this is my question. And here's where I mainly fault you, because you my conduit into all this. If Reiss was involved and had a conflict with Cena Senior, and all these shenanigans was going on, that this has been going on for quite some time, why am I the vice president just finding out now?
Well, maybe it's because you're busy trying to sort things out with the 1-year-old. This just happened a couple of days ago.
The 1-year-old just came this week. This has been going on for years, apparently.
Oh, well, as far as
I'm just finding out today.
The sabotage, I believe it was 2015 when Reiss suspended Cena.
Yeah, and I'm just finding out 2021.
Well, I don't know. If you were you officially the vice president in 2015?
I've been the vice president for a very long time.
Well, I don't. Maybe it doesn't. I can't answer that question. I don't know. I know I've been trying to make heads or tails of it. My phone has been ringing nonstop by other athletes in the organization that want to know what's going on. You know, the board of directors obviously would like to know what's going on. Where there's such a focal point of what we do with our live event presentations and the return of MWF Ultra coming this fall, you know, I can't think of any other sports franchise where you don't know where some of the athletes are getting their checks signed. You know what I mean? It's odd. I thought maybe, and you know, I like John Layfield. I thought maybe Layfield might have had something to do with it, but Cena said he
are they currently still getting these checks? And getting these checks for what exactly?
Keep them on the payroll, baby.
They still getting paid.
They're still getting paid every week.
How much?
I don't know. I don't know. The only financial information I know about the athletes are the one that I have come to terms with over the years. But certainly I know nothing about anyone within that uprising faction. I'm sure Reiss probably knows, but you'd have to talk to him as far as that goes. I don't know. I'd like to know.
Oh, I bet you I bet you he would claim ignorance as soon as he heard the question.
Who, Reiss?
He has, right here.
Well, Cena's pissed off. Let me tell you that much. He's not happy. He's angry. He's out for blood November the 13th at Memorial Hall. He challenged Zagami to put up $10,000 against his $10,000, and each one of them would pick a wrestler, and the winner that night would leave with 20. But now he's moved on to bigger things. I mean, he wants to out Zagami and everything behind him. I've known Cena since 2005, and I don't think I've ever known him to hate anyone as much as he hates Zagami. He hates him with a passion. I mean, with a Piggott-like passion, hatred. You know what I mean?
I mean, does he hate him because he didn't let him in on this here deal? I mean, let's be honest.
I think Cena dislikes him because he stabbed him in the back, for one. I mean, when Cena was suspended by Reiss, he snuck in and basically stole his company and his wrestlers that he had under contract. And now he has the chance to try and ruffle his feathers, so to speak. And I think he wants to do a lot of ruffling. So I don't know. Like I said, I am very interested to find out what the truth is behind this. You know, who knows? Johnny could be wrong, but I don't think he is. I don't think he'd go on video and make the allegations that he made if he didn't believe it to be true with concrete evidence behind it. I mean, I think that's one thing we can say about Cena Sr. The only thing fake about him might be what's on top of the head, but other than that.
All right.
So I don't know. What do you think? I mean, no, I'm not talking about that. What do you think? I mean, do you think Layfield's hands are clean if Cena believes it to be true?
First of all, I did not. You know what?
You've been moving and you've been worrying about these 1-year-old babies. You don't have time for anything. Now I'm worried you're gonna be even busier. We're gonna be on conference calls and Zoom calls, and there's gonna be a little 1-year-old running around.
Yeah, that's the reality of it. See, first of all, I am 6-man on the deal team, last to know. So it's impossible for me to have an opinion because I don't have a complete sketched artwork of what the hell is going on around here.
Well, I'm going to have to send you that. Well, I'd say I'd send you the link via Facebook, but Facebook is down.
What happened to Facebook besides some whistleblower chick is on all over CNN talking about she done released thousands of pages of allegations of this, that, and the other thing.
Maybe the owner of the uprising was released on Facebook, and that's why it got shut down. I don't know. I know Zagami is hot under the collar, and he's out of his mind to begin with. He's livid that I guess that Cena is what he calls an allegation that is untrue, but you know, you can't trust him as far as you can throw him. He's a piece of garbage, but it's just, I tell you, what a 20th anniversary we've had. It's one bombshell after another, whether it be here in the city of Melrose and City Hall and Memorial Hall. Now we have the Cena and Zagami dynamic heating up even more. I mean, November 13th is going to be an interesting night, you know.
Yeah, maybe you better double security. Cause it's gonna be fights. First, it's gonna be you and Piggott. Then it's gonna be Cena and Zagami, and I don't mean in the ring. All y'all gonna be in the parking lot.
And you're gonna be running around with the baby.
Yeah, well, yeah. I didn't bring up my kid to witness this. Y'all got too much upheaval going on.
And then you might have Reiss with some pieces.
Yeah, then you got Reiss all in the middle, trying to calm down. But see, you know what? Here's the thing, though. You got to look for Reiss to probably step down as president.
You think Reiss is going to step down?
Yeah, Reiss is going to step down. Y'all don't understand. Reiss done got him a major situation.
I know the situation, but I didn't know it would come to this.
Reiss, I'm not saying he is. I don't know. I haven't talked to him about it, but brace yourself for some major changes. Well, that's what I'm going to say.
If Reiss has to step down as president, does that mean, I don't know the bylaws of the organization, but does that mean you automatically become president, or do you want to remain VP?
No, vice president moves up to president. I ain't got no choice.
Do you want it? I guess is the question.
You know what? The way y'all acting a fool, yes, I do. Because some law and order got to be restored to the organization because you bastards are running amok.
Well, I'm not on the board of directors. I am not the president. I am not the vice president. All I am is a broadcast journalist and a producer and an assistant to everything that goes on here. But I don't want to say it would be I don't want to knock President Reiss. I don't want to knock President Reiss.
Who you talking to?
And say
you like Ernst Stavros Blofeld. You run everything from the damn shadows.
Well, maybe I invested in the uprising. Who knows? I wish I had that kind of money, but. You know, maybe I don't want to knock the work that President Reiss has done because I think the work that President Reiss has done has been excellent. But maybe you could bring a fresh coat of paint to what we're doing here as we begin our third decade if Reiss has to resign.
Okay. All right. Let me stop you right there. Reiss, as much as I love him, Reiss just stood by from a balcony seat and watched the mayhem. If he had been doing his job, and I tell him this to his face, if he had been doing his job, then things wouldn't be so jacked up.
Well,
you wouldn't be you wouldn't be high. You wouldn't be from the building. John Cena Sr. and Cam Zagami wouldn't be about to kill each other. There wouldn't be no under the table backroom deals going to hell on. And whatever the fuck else is going on down there. And I'm being serious.
Oscar, you're out of control, brother. Calm down. You got a 1-year-old coming. Well, I'll say this. The one thing about Reiss is, and he's been very blunt about it, he believes the more tension and animosity there is, it makes for a more interesting presentation. I don't know if you agree with that or not.
Reiss is out of his damn mind. No, because, okay, you keep creating tension and all that is good theater, and then a month after that, then you got a bunch of people that don't want to work together. Then what gets done after that? Not a damn thing.
Wow, you're calling out Reiss.
Because it can't. Everybody in the organization fall off and doing their own thing, and now it's a whole bunch of division. Who the hell don't want to come to work with who?
Well,
no, I got to restore. Order got to be restored.
Well, I don't know what to say at this point. I'm just I'm blown away by this Reiss news, and on top of everything else, you with babies and Zagami and Cena Senior and Memorial Hall and City Hall and back to the 90s, Saturday, November the 13th. I hope the fans have headed on over to BostonWrestling.com. I think that's a great segue, fans. Get your VIP packages and tickets now. I think this will be a good time for Oscar and I to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk more about the happenings in the world of the king of sports, professional wrestling. Stand by. Tickets are on sale now for our 20th anniversary Back to the 80s and 90s WrestleFest Birthday Bash, Saturday, November the 13th at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts. The World Wrestling Federation was live in Cleveland, Ohio, Thursday, October the 4th, 1984. In the opening contest, Pat Patterson beat Mr. X. Dr. D, David Schultz with the win over Tony Gurria via countout. Ken Patera defeated Samula. Judy Martin victorious over Desiree Peterson. Brutus Beefcake beat Salvatore Bellomo. The Junkyard Dog with the win over WWF Tag Team Champion Adrian Adonis. WWF Tag Team Champion Dick Murdoch defeated S.D. Jones. And in the main event, Andre the Giant battled Kamala to a double disqualification. If you were in Cleveland live, share your memories in the comment section below. Use the links in the description box to keep Wrestling Legends working in our eBay store and on our world-renowned Patreon streaming service so we can bring you more interactive superstar shoot interviews to relive the good old days of professional wrestling. Check it out. Boston Wrestling Sports in the MWF explodes into a new year with professional wrestling content galore and need you to join our family. Every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. after our Monday Night Raw review, it's Wrestling Insiders at your house with WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas. Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. after NXT and AEW, join rotating legends on Wrestling Insiders Special Edition. Every Thursday night at 10 p.m. after our NXT and Dynamite review, it's Marty Jannetty's no-holds-barred sex, drugs, and rock and roll journey on Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. Friday night after SmackDown, don't miss John Cena Sr.'s Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Fridays. Plus, look for classic clips, history videos, bonus live episodes, pay-per-view watch-alongs, and more. For less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, get early ad-free access to our Wrestling Insider talk shows, our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library, and help keep wrestling legends working during the worst of times. Join our growing family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marty.
And I'm John Cena Sr.
Johnny, the momentum here in Boston Wrestling continues as we continue to build and build and build. The fans want to know, how do we help? We subscribe to the Patreon, but we see all the great merchandise on that set. Coronavirus may have killed the nightlife, especially for someone like Marty, but our acclaimed eBay store is open 24/7 around the world.
Wow. Check it out.
Support Wrestling Insider's in-studio shoot interviews on eBay with this brand new personally autographed WWE Royal Rumble 2021 11x14 poster signed by WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns, his advocate Paul Heyman, and Kevin Owens. Reigns and Owens battled for the Universal title in a last standing match January 31st in the Thunderdome in Tampa. This limited edition collector's poster is number 31 of only 50 produced. Comes with WWE authentication hologram on the poster itself. Also comes with an on-air shout-out from WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas and a bonus autographed 8x10 photo. Get this rare, awesome collectible for your man cave and help keep wrestling legends working now. Wrestling fans, especially here in the Boston area, we want to thank our great friends at Red Rose for their support for all of our charitable endeavors and programming efforts. Red Rose is 2 years young and extremely thankful for all the support they've had from our neighbors here in Melrose and beyond for an amazing first 2 years. Red Rose thanks Melrose and all of the first responders who have fought the good fight and have never given up hope during these unprecedented times. We did it together. Follow Red Rose on Facebook for their anniversary special, facebook.com/Red Rose Melrose. You'll be glad you did. Open until 2 a.m. Red Rose will give you fresh, piping hot, mouth-watering food that'll put an ear-to-ear smile on even the toughest critic's face. Check out their full menu online at redrosema.com or give them a call, 781-620-1889. All right, wrestling fans, welcome back to the Monday Night Mission. I'm Dan Marati, along with former WWF Tag Team Championship manager Oscar of Men on a Mission. Oscar, quite the night on Raw for those that were able to sit through the 3 hours on our end. Interesting happenings in the world of Boston wrestling and interesting happenings all around in the sport with WWE, AEW, WWE shaking things up with the draft a little bit. They're headed back to Saudi Arabia for Crown Jewel. The King of the Ring tournament is coming. The Queen of the Ring tournament is coming. What are your thoughts about the latest in WWE?
Wait. There's a Queen of the Ring coming?
I believe the Queen of the Ring tournament, if it has not been announced, it is going to be announced soon.
The same night, or they getting their own show?
No, I think it's going to be intertwined.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, you know, there's just a few things going on. First of all, you got Nikki ASH, who is a tag team champion, when she looked like a damn candidate for release months ago.
You're not a big fan of the almost superhero.
Oh my gosh! But you know what? Mark my words. When the next big round of releases come in, don't be surprised, you Nikki ASH fans, if she is not if she's not on the chopping block to go, because that is not gonna. I'm gonna tell you another one that just hurt my nerve every time I see her on TV.
You broke up.
No,
Oscar.
I'm gonna tell you another one.
No, who?
This that Doudrop.
Oh, Doudrop.
God.
Well,
go.
Do you think David Reiss would drop a little dew in her?
I don't even think David Reiss would do that.
I guess I don't get Doudrop, but there are, I guess, some fans.
That's the point. That's the point. You don't get it. And once they figure out that she's not gotten, and they will figure it out sooner rather than later, that she has no star potential whatsoever.
Well,
there's nothing that they can do with her to make her to make her somebody that's gonna put, I'm buying a ticket because I gotta see Doudrop. Hell no.
I don't understand why they even brought Eva Marie back. Never mind Doudrop.
She sucked when she was here before. And even though they keep trying to reinvent her, I mean, they keep trying to reinvent her. It never, ever works, and it's not going to work this time.
She's a very attractive woman, but she really doesn't add much to her professional wrestling presentation.
I know, but this ain't America's Next Top Model. This is professional wrestling.
Or as they would call it, sports entertainment.
Yeah, but nah, that's not.
It's not very entertaining.
And that's not entertainment. Nah, she's in the wrong place.
Well, with such a small women's division, though, would you get rid of them?
What you said? Would I?
Well, that's what I mean. With such a small women's division,
Yeah,
you'd get rid of them.
I would, and then I would call up some NXT babes that got, some real star potential.
All right. Well, who would you call up from NXT that they haven't brought up already? Who do you like?
I have no idea. I would have to go and take a look at it. Yeah, but I will tell you this: that I would have to meticulously take a look at it. But there are a few babes that got way more star potential than that nonsense right there that they got going on now.
Well,
Nikki A.
I don't
say the dewdrops and the
No, I agree with you. I'm not a fan of Nikki Ash. I'm not a fan of Dewdrop. It's nonsensical to me. I don't know what wrestling fan would want to sit through that, but that's just my opinion. I think a lot of fans would agree with it.
And let me tell you this: while we on flip the coin over to AEW, the first episode of Cody Rhodes to the Top blew every episode of Miss and Mrs. out the water.
Really?
Yes, really.
You enjoyed it that much?
I enjoyed it that much, and that's what a wrestling show about a married male and female is supposed to look like.
I find Brandy Rhodes to be very unlikable.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of it.
That she's unlikable?
Yeah, Maurice goes out of her way to be likable, and I'm not buying it. Brandy Rhodes is being herself. So whether you like her or not, that's real good television.
Well, I think she's a nice human being. She comes across as a nice lady, but as far as her contributions to pro wrestling go, I didn't think she was much as a wrestler, and I didn't think she was much as a ring announcer. Maybe she should remain behind the scenes. Yeah, but
that's the thing. She don't. Yeah, but that's where she was. That's where she's the strongest, because she's not.
She's not
back there like she knows everything. She back there supporting her. She's not back there acting like she know everything.
She's the chief brand officer of the company. You'd like to think she has some knowledge.
Yeah, but you know what? No. I'm not saying she don't have no knowledge, but it just seemed like she's willing to learn. Willing to learn from Cody.
Great. All right, she wants to learn. That doesn't mean you make her the chief brand officer of a company. I mean, come on. That'd be like hiring Quincy.
Nah.
That'd be like putting Quincy Rustani on the board of directors of Boston Wrestling. Come on. You know better than that, and I know better than that.
I'm sorry, I lost you in that whole sentence.
No, I said you know better than that, and I know better than that. I mean, that'd be like putting Quincy Rustani on the MWF board of directors. Come on. She wants to learn? Good, go learn. You don't give someone that high of a position in the company. That's absurd. I will make you one of the highest ranking executives of the company. Go learn how to do it. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but see, here go the thing, though. She got that position, but the company don't seem to be suffering because of it.
Fair enough.
Think about it.
Well, she's also been on maternity leave for quite a while, but I don't know.
Well, she's supposed to be. She's having a baby.
Well, and look at how hot AEW has been of late.
Yeah, exactly. Being chief brand officer is not hurting nothing.
Has her absence helped?
I don't know if it helped, but it certainly. I put it like this: her being here being there, when she's there, her being there is not hurting nothing. I don't know. I can't speak to what kind of contribution she making. I haven't paid microscopic attention to it like that as of yet. I mean, I have more now lately than I've been since they've been on. But I mean, she ain't hurting nothing. And behind every good man is a good woman. She seemed like a good woman to Cody. So if that's what helps get him up in the morning, I'm all for it.
Well, I don't know what you mean by that, but I guess you could take that a couple of different ways. But yeah, no, you're right. Behind every good man is a good woman. But I just, she's not my cup of coffee when it comes to the actual in-ring. But that's just me.
Oh,
I think the in-ring isn't that
I'll put
good.
it like that.
Put it like what? Well, put it however you want to put it, brother.
Let me put it like this. Okay, you think about it. How good of an in-ring is Stephanie?
Well, Stephanie's over. Stephanie gets genuine heat when she comes out.
She does, but when you put her ring in a match, how painful is it to watch?
Painful.
Okay, then.
But I don't think Stephanie has ever claimed to be a professional wrestler. Like Brandy.
She claims it when she claims it when she get in the ring and then try and wrestle. Don't try that.
Well, how many matches how many matches has Stephanie had in her entire career? A handful?
One too many.
Well, she was always willing to take a big bump. I'll give her credit for that.
Brandy ain't?
I don't think Brandy's had a good match yet. I think they keep coming up with one nonsensical storyline after another to put her on TV, and I would imagine they were probably thrilled that the pregnancy came, so they didn't have to have any more. I mean, she had that group of I don't know if they were supposed to be aliens or oddities or whatever they may have been, and then it was just one. I mean, if you look at the history of AEW, which is I believe 2 years old this week. As far as the Dynamite television show goes, it's just been one recycled story and one bad storyline after another to try and keep her around. Howard Miller didn't want to see it. Howard Miller was disgusted.
All right, well, yeah, you're right. We got to break out of that, but right now we don't got to worry. She impregnated. When she have the baby, she gonna be off TV for a while anyway, so we ain't got to worry about it. We ain't got to worry. So that case is solved, at least for the time being.
Well, you know what? If she has positive contributions to make behind the scenes, I'm all for it. You can never have enough good people working in an organization. One man's opinion. That's all. That's all. That's all. What do you think about the WWE returning to Saudi Arabia? That was something that got a lot of heat before, and then the coronavirus came and was kind of forgotten about. The talent that was basically held hostage on the airplane during one of their most recent visits. If you were a WWE superstar, would you be excited about returning to the kingdom?
Well, okay,
You got a what?
Thought about that.
All right.
When I got a definite thought about that.
What do you got?
A lot of companies boycotted, doing business with WWE after Kasasha was murdered there. He was murdered there at the I believe at the embassy. He was hacked up to pieces by like 12 people because and the prevailing theory is basically because of his journalism. Right. What he spoke out for. Yeah. So a lot of companies, boycotted it because he wasn't an American citizen, but he had clearance to live in America.
Right.
So in all intents and purposes, he was an American. WWE's answer to it was they were monitoring the situation and they would, make a last minute informed decision. And out of all the companies that decided not to go, they went anyway. When I feel like they shouldn't have. They should have boycotted it. That would have made a really, really, really big statement protesting that particular, that particular incident. But they didn't, and that left a real bad taste in my mouth. And the fact that they going back over there, I feel like anybody who participated with Saudi Arabia since that incident is putting money over principle. Putting money over, putting money over man. So on that regard, by itself, I'm not excited
You're
about
not going to
Crown
be.
Jewel
You're not going to tune in.
or anything. I didn't tune in last year. I'm not tuning in this year
Well,
because
hopefully the
parties
wrestlers.
were wrong for that, and yeah.
Hopefully the wrestlers won't be detained on the plane again like they were for a long, 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 long,
Yeah,
long,
I
long
would be
time.
if I'm on the roster, I would be sweating bullets to go.
You wouldn't want that booking.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't have wanted the booking when I wouldn't have wanted the booking last year. I just said that first thing, and I certainly want the booking if I went and then I'm 7 hours on a plane being detained like a hostage.
Talk about the plane ride from hell.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. That's because I mean you on the plane, you in a foreign country, and you in a country that's known for what the hell's coming out the jack in the box. You understand what I'm saying? I would have been in fear for my life.
I
And then when
do.
I finally got to American soil, I would not have been going back.
That would have been it for you.
Yeah, that would have been. I remember a story. I remember Bret Hart telling me that, and I want it was in the Middle East somewhere. If I'm not mistaken, it was Israel, but you can't hold me to that because I'm not sure if it was in Israel.
All right.
And they were on a bus, and some of the guys came on the bus with their machine guns out,
Really?
and they were speaking a foreign language, and they were very aggressive. And yeah, Brett was really, really concerned that they was going to take the machine guns and start opening up.
Really?
You would have now, if you ever talk to him, you would have to get him to tell you exactly that story. But that's the crux of the story that I remember him, telling us. Now,
So this was on a was this on a WWF tour?
he told I think he told me while we were there on the bus.
So on a prior WWF tour, these military operatives came on the bus with guns?
Yeah. See, I don't know. I don't remember what their role were. I don't know if they were military operatives or they wasn't terrorists. Because if they were terrorists, they would have held them hostage, or some people wouldn't have made it alive.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what their role was, but it was a really, really frightening. A really, really frightening few minutes, or however long the stalemate lasted. But they were very aggressive, and what made it worse, huh?
You never had to deal with anything like that on those European tours, did you?
Nah.
No, you were safe.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. But Brett, that's a scary thing with what you described from Brett as far as these people coming on the bus with guns.
I don't know who else. I don't know who else was on the tour at that time, or with him, or whatever. But yeah, he told me that happened. happened. And yeah, I got real concerned after that. And I don't know why you couldn't tell me that story when we was in New Jersey.
Well, interesting. Yeah, exactly, right? When you were in a safer place. But do you have any favorites for the King of the Ring, Oscar? Who do you think, if it was up to you and your magic booking pencil, who do you think would benefit from being crowned king? I don't think it really did. I don't think it did much for Baron Corbin, but
nah, I think I put my money on Lashley.
you think Lashley should be the king?
Yeah, I think Lashley should be the king, and I honestly believe Lashley should get that title back.
Oh, I agree.
Because I'm not buying Big E pinning Lashley on a clean win, weeks in a row. I'm sorry. Big E is big. Big E is strong, but I'm just not buying it. So yeah, Lashley ought to be the king. He ought to win the Royal Rumble. Whatever gets him into a main event at WrestleMania.
I agree with you
Lashley's
110%. I have said many times in recent months that I think the one good thing WWE was doing was the title picture with Roman as the champion on SmackDown and Lashley as the champion on Raw. And they certainly ruined that dynamic when we were at the beautiful Gold Coast Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada, right here in Boston. Big E took the championship belt, and I just was, ugh. Big E could, Intercontinental, U.S. champion, okay. Tag team champion, okay. Absolutely. But, I mean, Big E is, he almost looks like he's as wide as he is tall, and his head looks like the stem of a pumpkin.
Yeah, no.
And that's going to be your face. That's going to be your face of Monday Night Raw to try and combat Monday Night Football? Come on. Please.
Okay, well, you asked. Okay. I put Lashley over Big E. Okay, so who do you think is a better face of the company? You say Big E is a better face than Lashley?
No, not at all. I think it's a joke.
Oh.
I think it's ridiculous. He doesn't
Lashley come out with them silk suits on and them ties, with the belt and them glasses. He looks distinguished. He looks like a champion. He looks like a real superstar, and he's strong and almost unstoppable in the ring. He got all the tools to be the champ for years to come, in my opinion. Big E don't got that.
I agree with you 100%. I think it's ridiculous. Again, they're trying to hotshot angles to try and combat the attention that AEW has been receiving from fans, as well as dwindling ratings due to Monday Night Football. But that happens every year during football season. They have to expect it to go down, unless you're talking about you have a hot product like they did during the Attitude Era. But I think putting the title on Big E hurts, outside of maybe the moment that it happened where you get the big pop. But other than that, is it going to help you week to week? I don't see that helping week to week. Do you?
And and you're right. You know what? I didn't even think about that. I didn't even factor that in, especially trying to compete against Monday Night Football. Ain't nothing. Ain't none of it gonna beat Monday Night Football. Everybody's gonna suffer. So, you raise an interesting point, which raises an interesting perspective. Okay, so yeah, why not put the title on Big E during Monday Night Football? And waste the Lashley push. You can put the title on anybody right now because you're not gonna beat the Monday Night Football ratings. So yeah, why don't we all just relax? So the Super Bowl is over. Let's ramp it up and put the title back on some people that's really gonna draw some people on television. Because we ain't gonna do it right now.
Well,
so
who?
You can put the title right now.
There's nobody. Nobody was over. Lashley was over.
You can put the title right now. You can put the title right now on Hornswoggle, and it ain't gonna make a difference
You
because we ain't gonna be Monday Night Football, so we might as well relax.
you'd need Austin or The Rock at their peak, and they don't have anyone anywhere near that league.
Even I wouldn't do it right now because I'm not even gonna try to experiment of competing with Monday Night Football. So I'm gonna wait until it's over where I can get a grab handle back on some decent ratings, or try to be the king of TV.
Sometimes you have to be patient, and
But
sometimes
I'm
you have
not.
to pace things out. In WWE, they don't do it. They want to, instead of ready, aim, fire, it's ready, fire, shoot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but see, he go to think that though. It's two parts business, and three parts ego.
Well, I don't know why
When it comes, when
purposely
it comes to when it comes,
why purposely degrade what you're trying to present each week. It's the
well, I
world
just,
title. The world title shouldn't be a lifetime achievement award. Oh, he's been with the company for 10 years and he's worked so hard. That's great. And I'm not taking anything away from that. I just don't think that everybody that's been with the company for 10 years and has worked hard deserves to be world champion. Put it on Shelton Benjamin. He was around a lot longer than that. He's a much better athlete than Big E, much better wrestler than Big E. Give it to him.
yeah, I know he's a much better athlete and this, that, and the other, but I mean, a Shelton Benjamin championship. I mean, what is the meaning behind that besides nothing?
Well, what's the meaning behind a Big E championship?
Nothing.
Well, exactly.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Nobody cares about any
Yeah,
of it.
no, right. I mean, yeah, nothing. There's no rhyme or reason behind it, and you're right. Who cares about that? I know I certainly don't. I'd be here sitting at the TV wondering, all right, he finna drop the title. He finna drop the title. Oh shoot, he didn't drop it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I hate to say it, Oscar, but now, as someone that has been a fan of wrestling in, my gosh, now, 35 years of being a wrestling fan and almost 28 years of working in the industry, I can't remember a time when I've had such little interest in watching it or caring about what's gone on with it. They're great athletes. It's probably the greatest group of in-ring athletes they've ever had, but it's boring, it's repetitive, it's the same thing week after week with characters that aren't interesting, trying to memorize promos they don't recite very well. It's just, blech.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I've been telling y'all for years. You can be a great athlete. You can be a great in-ring worker. All that. You can have all those tools. But if you don't have character, none of it means jack boom. None of it means nothing. Because it's not about that. It's never been about that. It ain't never gonna be about that. And if you trying to force that people down the fans' throats, the fans are oblivious to a point. Only to a point. When they're not seeing something that they really want to see, something that make them pop up out their seat as soon as their music hit, somebody that entertains the fans when they on that microphone, then you are going to suffer.
Yeah, I agree. And there's a lot of suffering going on right now. That's about the only word I can use to describe it. It's brutal. I want to like it. I want to tune in every week. There's just nothing to hold my attention. It's boring.
When you had Stone Cold, you had The Undertaker, you have The Rock, they all had they wasn't they didn't have the best wrestling prowess on the planet. None of them. Let's be real. but they all had that it factor.
Right.
That it factor that sold out stadiums. That it factor, even John Cena got it. That it factor that make people, want to tune in. People will go to a wrestling match and buy tickets just because they know John Cena coming. For no other reason. You got women that don't even watch wrestling, but they'll go because John Cena coming. And not because he's so good looking, but because he got that it factor. He got that loud ass, cool ass theme song. You like to hear him talk when he's in the ring. He's entertaining. He got that je ne sais quoi. Hey, these other people try to have it. I see what they trying to do. But I could try to shit when I got constipation and it still ain't coming out.
It's still shit. I guess at the end of the day, you're just pushing shit.
You ain't pushing nothing. Yeah. That's my point. You trying, you constipated. Ain't nothing coming.
There's a lot of constipation going on right now. That's a good way to put it.
Right.
Well, I don't know. It's just it's disappointing. But again, the one company in wrestling that has that momentum behind it right now is AEW. It's been a better show the past couple of months. You have all these great additions that have come from WWE. It's almost like WWE's trying to help them. Adam Cole didn't resign. Daniel Bryan didn't resign. CM Punk has come back out of the catacombs to be an in-ring athlete that the fans are going nuts over each and every week on AEW's TV shows. Aleister Black and Andrade Almas have become featured parts of the AEW shows. So, that's a lot of great talent to add to a roster that really needed it. There were a lot of guys on AEW TV. Well, I think AEW had a couple of segments each week where they'd knock it out of the park. You had a couple of segments each week that looked like it didn't even belong on an indie wrestling show. So I think it's vastly improved over the past couple months.
I mean, but it had to and is going to. I mean, the longer they stay on and the more experience they get, the better it's going to be. When it comes down to it, the cons are not playing. They are not BSing. Them people are pumping money into the situation, without, what they're pumping money into it without hesitations. They spare no expense when it comes down to the acquisition of talent. They spare no expense when it comes down to the TV time that they buying.
Yeah.
They spare no expense when it comes down to the look of the brand. And they really gonna start making money. They haven't even pulled the trigger on touring yet. And believe you me, that's coming.
What do you mean touring?
And
what do you mean tour? House shows?
Yeah, they don't go everywhere yet.
Well,
but when they,
no, go ahead.
Yeah, but when they really go full throttle in, they're gonna book arenas everywhere without no hesitation, just like WWE used to do. They're gonna go everywhere, and if they keep on keeping on, I mean, they might run 2 or 3 or 4 stadium shows. They ain't there yet. Don't get me wrong. They're not there yet. But you let them keep packing talent the way they packing talent and building storylines the way that, building proper storylines, which they're not there yet again, but I do believe they'll get there. They're going to have pay-per-views that are significant like WrestleMania, and I believe they're going to have more than one a year. because I believe that they got the money, and I believe that they truly are risk takers when it comes down to it. Their mission is to be number one without sparing no expense whatsoever. So, I believe I'm expecting big things from them. I mean, really big things.
But you have to wonder if you're the USA Network or Fox and you continue to see these dwindling ratings with the same people over and over again, would you be a little angry with WWE for releasing so many talents that could be contributing?
I you know, I'm not so sure about that because
I
I'm
wouldn't be
of the
happy.
belief that no, I wouldn't be happy either. But I don't know if they how angry they're gonna be because I believe that they probably were part of that decision making process.
You think that WWE sat down with USA and Fox and said, hey, let's get rid of some of the biggest stars we have in the company, like Bray Wyatt and
I don't
Braun
I don't
Strowman?
I don't see how they could have did it without their blessing. Because of just like
Well,
answer the question.
you're
You
bro-
know,
you're
you think that Fox and USA were pissed off. Do you think that Fox and USA were pissed off because they got rid of some of those big names? Well, they didn't. They wouldn't want to piss them off.
No, you keep breaking up, Oscar. We got to get you a
Yeah,
new microphone over there, brother. Every other sentence you break out. Are you still there?
it's not.
Oh,
It's can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
It's not just the wrestling talent. These people are also television personalities on a network. So you can't just get rid of them without the network signing off.
Well, then you know what? They're idiots too, then.
Yeah, I didn't say it was smart. I'm just telling you I'm just telling you how it can be done and how it can't be done.
If I'm Fox or if I'm USA and I continue to see my monster investment of $200+ million a year being flushed down the toilet with ratings that keep declining every week, I'd want WWE to boost the roster with more talent and more
Yeah,
variety.
but that's not that. Yeah, that brings up my second point.
Okay.
You don't know what promises. You don't know. We don't know what promises they made Fox and USA in lieu of.
Well, yeah, maybe I'm sure there were a lot of discussions that we weren't privy to, but in the end, I think everybody just wants a product we can enjoy week in and week out and be excited to watch. Fair to say?
Say it again.
I said, is that fair to say?
I didn't hear you. Say it again.
I said, I think at the end of the day, everybody just wants to have a product we can look forward to watching every week.
Yeah, but see, you know what? You can't have an omelet without breaking some legs. You know, without breaking some eggs. I like legs better. Can't have an omelet without breaking some
There
legs.
you go.
Nah, sometimes, and sometimes in business, you know losses are coming, and you know when it's not going to be your season. So you are willing to weather those storms in order to make preparations for the sun to come out. I mean, you know, Vince McMahon, Triple H, whatever, you know, they not fools.
No,
You
not at
know, they
all.
know where they at. They know where they at. They know what's coming. But please believe me and know this for a fact. They are not seeing these ratings go down and, you know, and weathering out these storms where productivity is down and all that stuff without having a they ain't that pulling their hair out. These people got a plan.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how things develop. You know, before we know it, a couple of months from now, WWE announced they're going to be doing a big stadium show in St. Louis for the Royal Rumble, and it'll be the kickoff
Yeah.
to the WrestleMania season. So,
And believe you me,
I don't know.
nah, believe you me, that stadium is gonna be that
that stadium gonna be sold out, and I do believe that they planning one hell of a show. I think it's and it's a super ambitious move. Don't get me wrong, because when I saw that they were doing it, I was looking like, because if I was still in Gary, Indiana, I'd be going to St. Louis. I would miss that, but St. Louis is too far for me to go now, and I'm not that invested in it at this point to make that trip. But
do you think that they'll be able to put 102,000 in Dallas again, or do you think they'll be able to put 102,000 in Dallas for WrestleMania?
I don't see it today, but I don't see it today. But they got a couple of months to plan, and I do believe that they got some things up their sleeve to make that happen.
All right. Well,
because see, you got to know something. A Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar main event is going to inspire some attendance.
If they go that route, I wouldn't have wasted the match in Saudi Arabia, but that's just my opinion. As I've said on several of these shows.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. They can have it in Saudi Arabia for the Saudi Arabian audience and still bring it to America because it's still going to be a pretty fresh product.
Yeah, I think the storyline where Paul Heyman is stuck in the middle between two of his guys, who is he going to side with? I think that would have made for an interesting dynamic headed into WrestleMania. If they just did it in October, I don't see it being fresh and original at all. I think it becomes stale at that point.
Yeah, I know, but see, you make a good point. The Royal Rumble now has to have a WrestleMania worthy type plot line at this point.
Yeah,
in order to sell that show. Royal Rumble has got to be, it can't even be WrestleMania light. It's got to be WrestleMania's twin brother, to be honest.
Yeah, it's got to be up there. Well, Oscar, we're running out of...
I wouldn't have did it.
You would not have done it?
I would not have done it.
Really?
No.
All right. Well, again, that is the opinion of the man on a mission himself, folks. We are running out of time here now. Don't forget, the countdown is on. We're less than 6 weeks away from Boston Wrestling MWF's 20th anniversary. Back to the 80s celebration, Saturday night, November the 13th, from the historic Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts. Hot, piping hot in-ring action, autograph photo fan fest, VIP Q&A, the kickoff to the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive, and more. Oscar is going to be there, although I don't know if Oscar's going to make it now that he's got the 1-year-old baby coming to live with him.
I'm coming. Shut up.
All right. Well, that's what she said. All right. For Oscar, I'm Dan Marotti. We'll see you next Monday night on Wrestling Insider's Monday Night Mission. Until then, you and yours, be well, be healthy. Good night from Boston. Thank you for joining us. Please give the video a big thumbs up, leave us a comment, and subscribe to the channel to enjoy more great content. Don't forget, you can help keep wrestling legends working. Check out our eBay store and join the Boston Wrestling family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling so we can produce more in-depth shoot interviews.